Thank you for joining us at What's Up Today show. Stay tuned for today's top political stories and global developments. South Korea's parliament votes to impeach President Yoon Suk Yeol over his martial law order. South Korea's parliament on Saturday impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol over his stunning and short-lived martial law decree, a move that ended days of political paralysis but set up an intense debate over Yoon's fate as jubilant crowds roared to celebrate another defiant moment in the country's resilient democracy. The National Assembly passed the motion 204-85. Yoon's presidential powers and duties were subsequently suspended, and Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, the country's number 2 official, took over presidential powers later Saturday. The Constitutional Court has up to 180 days to determine whether to dismiss Yoon as president or restore his powers. If he's thrown out of office, a national election to choose his successor must be held within 60 days. It was the second National Assembly vote on Yoon's impeachment, after ruling party lawmakers boycotted the first floor vote last Saturday. Some People Power Party lawmakers had since said they would vote for Yoon's impeachment as public protests intensified and his approval rating plummeted. National Assembly Speaker Woo Won-shik said Yoon's impeachment was an outcome driven by the people's ardent desire for democracy, courage, and dedication. Hundreds of thousands of people gathered near the parliament roared in jubilation, waved banners, and brandished colorful K-pop glow sticks as a lead activist shouted on stage, "We have preserved the constitutional order." The impeachment has been done in line with the people's demand, and I hope a decision to dismiss Yoon Suk Yeol will come as soon as possible, said Kim Soo-bong, a protester. I'm very happy and moved. I view it as a victory of the people. In a central Seoul plaza, another huge crowd gathered supporting Yoon, but they grew subdued after hearing he had been impeached. The acting leader bolsters the country's security posture. Yoon issued a statement saying he would never give up and called for officials to maintain stability in government functions during what he described as a temporary pause of his presidency. I will carry with me all the criticisms, encouragement, and support directed toward me, and I will continue to do my utmost for the country until the very last moment, Yoon said. Yoon's December 3rd imposition of martial law, the first of its kind in more than 4 decades in South Korea, lasted only 6 hours but caused massive political tumult, halted diplomatic activities, and rattled financial markets. Yoon was forced to lift his decree after parliament unanimously voted to overturn it. Han, the acting leader, ordered the military to bolster its security posture to prevent North Korea from launching provocations by miscalculation. Han asked the foreign minister to inform other countries that South Korea's major external policies remain unchanged, and the finance minister to work to minimize potential negative impacts on the economy caused by the political turmoil, according to Han's office. I earnestly ask public servants this. At this moment, we have the critical task of ensuring normal and stable operations of state affairs. I ask you to carry out your duties without any neglect to ensure that the government is operated without being shaken, Han said in a televised statement. South Korea's executive power is concentrated with the president, but the prime minister leads the country if the president becomes incapacitated. Han is a seasoned official and has previously held a string of top government posts such as trade minister and finance minister. He also served as a prime minister from 2007-2008. U.S. Ambassador Philip S. Goldberg wrote on X that the U.S. supports South Korea's democratic and constitutional process here and stands with its people. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba told reporters Saturday that Tokyo was closely watching the developments in South Korea, but said that the importance of Japan-South Korea relations is not affected. After declaring martial law, Yoon sent hundreds of troops and police officers to the parliament to try to impede its vote on the decree, before they withdrew after the parliament rejected Yoon's decree. No major violence occurred. Opposition parties accuse Yoon of rebellion. Opposition parties accuse Yoon of rebellion, citing a law that categorizes as rebellion the staging of a riot against established state authorities to undermine the Constitution. They also say that a president in South Korea is allowed to declare martial law only during wartime or similar emergencies and has no right to suspend parliament's operations even under martial law. The impeachment motion alleged that Yoon committed rebellion that hurt peace in the Republic of Korea by staging a series of riots. It said Yoon's mobilization of military and police forces threatened the National Assembly and the public, and that his martial law decree was aimed at disturbing the Constitution. Yoon remains defiant. In a fiery speech on Thursday, Yoon rejected the rebellion charges, calling his martial law introduction an act of governance. The conservative leader asserted that his actions were meant to issue a warning to the main liberal opposition Democratic Party, which he labeled as a monster and anti-state forces. Yoon accused the party of using its legislative dominance to impeach top officials and obstruct the government's budget bill for the next year. He defended the deployment of troops as a measure to maintain order rather than to disrupt it. Democratic Party leader Lee Jae-myung described Yoon's speech as a mad declaration of war against his own people. Observers note that Yoon's speech indicates a strategic focus on legal preparations to defend his martial law decree at the Constitutional Court. However, public sentiment appears overwhelmingly against him, with more than 70% of South Koreans supporting his impeachment, according to opinion polls. A survey released Friday showed Yoon's approval rating at just 11%, the lowest since he assumed office in 2022. Contradictions have emerged between Yoon's claims and testimony from military commanders involved in the martial law enforcement. Kwak Jong-kun, commander of the Army Special Warfare Command, testified that Yoon ordered his troops to quickly destroy the door and drag out the lawmakers who are inside. Kwak stated that he did not follow the order. Historical context and legal implications. Yoon is the third South Korean president to be impeached while in office. In 2016, Parliament impeached Park Geun-hye, the country's first female president, over a corruption scandal. The Constitutional Court upheld her impeachment, leading to her removal from office. In 2004, President Moo-hyun was impeached over an alleged election law violation, but the court overturned the decision and restored his presidential powers. Yoon has been banned from leaving South Korea. His defense minister, police chief, and 2 other high-ranking officials have been arrested for their roles in enforcing martial law. Although Yoon enjoys presidential immunity from criminal prosecution, this privilege does not cover allegations of rebellion or treason. However, experts doubt that authorities will forcibly detain him, as such an action could trigger confrontations with his presidential security service. We hope you found this update insightful. Stay connected with What's Up Today show for more trending news and analysis.